Fate of the Furious is the 8th film in the Fast and Furious franchise, and in this film it takes place sometime after Furious 7, in which the villain of the movie, played by Charlize Theron, she has something on Dom to make him betray his family. So now it's up to Dominic's crew to find out why Dom is betraying them and stop him, and also stop Charlize Theron's character named Cypher. Now, if you've been following my channel for some time, you know that I am a huge fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I love the first film. The second and third film is the weakest of the franchise. I like the fourth film. The fifth one is the best of the series. I love the sixth film, and of course the seventh film. I love that one, not just because it was a fun movie, but because I love how they handled the passing of Paul Walker. And not only it was a great send-off to Paul Walker, but I felt like it was also could have made for a great ending to the franchise. But the seventh film made over $1 billion, and I guess the execs over at Universal was just like, you know, maybe this franchise can go on a little bit longer. So now we have our 8th film, and honestly I can say I like the film. I don't think it's the best. I feel like it's a middle of the road, no pun intended, sequel. Like, it's not too great, but at the same time it's not too bad either. It's just a fun little action film. And also, I can honestly say, you know, it is what it is, because let's be real, the past couple of movies, it's just been nothing but ridiculous action between two cars dragging a boat full of safe through the streets of Rio, to being on the longest runway ever and stopping the plane, and through a car driving through three buildings. And of course, in this movie, we got The Rock stopping a torpedo, so yeah, make that what you will. But I did love the action in this film. Like, I love the ice scene where they're out in the snow and they're driving on the ice water. There's a scene, this prison scene that involves The Rock and Jason Statham. I thought it was a fun scene. It was cool just watching them. And of course, you know, we saw in the trailers that they're in New York, and I guess you could say that's one of the backdrops location of this particular film. And of course, the old cast is back as usual. Vin Diesel returns, Roman has returned, played by Tyrese, and at the 8th film, I can honestly say, like, Roman, he has become the Jar Jar Binks of this franchise. Now, I won't say he's as annoying as Jar Jar Binks, but he's just that comedy relief. He's just, alright, you're doing the most. And of course, you know, we got Tej, we got Michelle Rodriguez, we got Natalie, whatever, how you pronounce her last name. She returns as Ramsey. And Kurt Russell returns in the movie too as Mr. Nobody, as well as The Rock as Luke Hobbs, and you know, he's probably one of the best parts of this franchise as far as the recent films goes. And of course, Jason Statham returns in the movie as Deckard Shaw, and you know, I just like the banter between him and The Rock. I felt like that made for some good comedy, but it just felt like a good angle through this franchise. And of course, we gotta talk about Charlize Theron as Cypher in this movie. I felt like she's probably one of the best villains in this franchise, and you know, she definitely has Dom by the balls to make him betray his family, and I thought that was pretty much a great plot point to take this franchise, because honestly, after the 7th film, I don't know where they can go, but for what they took in this film, I'd say, like, you know what, that actually paid off for me. And I definitely can't wait to see what they do next, because apparently this is a franchise that just won't run out of gas, so I guess they just won't run out of ideas, so I guess we'll see. But Charlize Theron's character in the movie, I felt like she was pretty good, but I felt like she was pretty one-note throughout the movie. Like, she was still a good character, but it's just her acting goes just a little one-note, as well as the other cast members in this movie. I can definitely see the acting is starting to falter within this franchise, because, you know, again, this is a franchise that just won't run out of gas and has just become ridiculous more and more as the films go. But look, in the end, this is a fun film, and I like for what they took for the film, and I'm interested to see what they do next, especially how the film ends, and especially the twists and turns they've done in this movie. Don't worry, when the Blu-ray comes out, I will do a spoiler review of this movie, because there are some stuff that I really do want to talk about, but I just don't want to spoil for y'all, so be on the lookout for my spoiler review of this movie when the Blu-ray comes out. But as for right now, I say this is a fun movie. Go out and see it, a great addition to the franchise, and we'll just have to see what they do next, especially since they're making 3 more films. Well, 2 more films, because this is counting 3, so they're trying to go up to 10 movies. So I will give the Fate of the Furious, I'm pushing to give Fate of the Furious 4 stars for worth money at matinee price. It's because this new angle they took with this film, and some of the stuff that happens in this movie that I really don't want to spoil, but it's the stuff that happened in this movie that I can't spoil, is why this movie is brought up to 4 stars for me, and why I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, check out my channel. The link is in the description below. And be sure to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and Periscope. Peace.